Hi, welcome back to Electrovox. I'm blessed to be at Valhalla Festival with Chaka, who some of you might know from Heilung. So thank you ever so much for joining me. For those people who don't know who you are, could you just do a little bit of introduction of who you are, what you do?
That's a great question. First of all, thank you for the invite. Um, my name is Nicolas Schipper Perez, also called Chaka or Shipper or Nick or Nico, whatever you want. I'm a artivist, born and raised in Ecuador, and I'm also an ethnotherapist, working with people, walking this path on service for others through the things that I've learned in my own process,
Mm.
basically. Talking out loud from the people that has uh, difficulty to reach the bigger audience, um, protecting territories somehow as I could, and supporting also the protection of ancestral traditions.
Oh, good. Yeah, okay. Well, we can chat about that a little bit
Yeah,
down the line.
definitely.
Um, but for those who know you as primarily
Oh yeah,
from
and I
Heilung,
drum with Heilung. Yeah,
with Heilung.
yeah, I drum.
So
Yeah.
with what you've just said there, obviously, having followed you on social media, you're quite a peaceful, very much therapeutic, philosophical kind of person.
Wow. Thank
But
you for that.
but when we see you in the Highland ritual, you are red painted up,
Hmm.
aggression. Um, when I last saw you in London, I was blessed enough to have got hold of some of the leaves that Kai whacked you with to get the aggressive energy off. Some people call you like the war drummer or Kratos in a way, but could you describe sort of your persona in Heilung and what that means to you? Because your life is very different.
Thank you for that. I actually haven't seen that perspective.
Oh, okay.
Um, Basically, the painting I've heard, actually I didn't knew who Kratos was,
Okay.
in the connection to the character that apparently was a game or whatever. I had no idea about it until people in social media started talking about it, and then they sent me pictures, and I was like, I'm much shorter than that guy. um, but basically, what I do is the paint. I represent duality, but not as a division, more as a complement. The understanding that is a cycle of things in life, that for understanding one side you need the other one,
Mm.
and everything is related on how you make the approach to that situation. um, and when I'm with Heilung on stage on my altar is all my set that carry different spirits, especially from the region, from South America and Central America. um, the energy comes out like that, and I give it all. I'm
Yeah,
a canalizer of what is happening in that moment,
it's a
um,
channeling.
if you want to call it like that. So I just feel it. It's not that I'm coming out like a, let's, I have to be this beast up there.
Yeah,
It's I don't think about that.
yeah. You just act on instinct.
What is coming, and
Yeah.
sometimes I feel different things happening,
Mm.
and I feel actually myself that the energy is not fully there.
Okay. Because yeah, from our perspective, when we're watching, you have incredibly peaceful moments with Maria, of course,
Mm.
but then with you, you have the very, very heavy aggression. So it does feel like a duality, which is nice because you get all of the range of emotions when you
Yeah,
watch the show.
I'm also sharing a lot of the colors also represent the wairuro, that is a seed that it comes from different regions from the jungles in South America. Represents a lot of things: prosperity, the part of duality, protection, And then on the other hand, I also represent the blood and fight from First Nations protecting their lands and territories. So it can be that what you call aggression, it can be maybe that pain that I'm
Definitely.
also representing there, that is people suffering because of others wanting to have more or being richer by an egocentric position.
Yeah, so it's defense of nature and your own people as well.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, that's good to know. Actually, it really does clear up that. Um, but where I've been following you since we spoke about
Mm,
this interview, in the group chat where you usually put really philosophical things, you
mm,
talked about a ladybug. Now,
mm,
I was telling the people with me today about the ladybug, and as we were watching my good friend Solfear play an
mhm.
amazing set, uh, she was doing a beautiful piece that made one of my party cry. But at the same time, a ladybug landed on the table. So, could you tell the audience a little bit about what happened with your ladybug story?
It is quite interesting because when you have the understanding, first of all, of that group there, it's basically, I feel that now you have to pay to connect with people so much and so strong. In that channel, it was an opening space that I opened basically to share what it comes out. That sometimes we believe that everybody has the understanding of it or the connection or the possibility to have that moment, but then you realize that each of us is walking a different path and has different realities. So sharing those moments, I received feedback of people feeling so grateful about it, and that was a big motivation. And there I share, when people subscribe to my email, I'm trying to make it deeper and more personal to myself.
Hmm.
But in that one, I share those moments, maybe in a shorter version. And it's been a lot of them. When one time also a bird was standing in the microphone in a closed space,
Yeah,
like that ladybug. In that moment, I was literally playing, and usually, because of my sweat, sometimes drops fall into my drums, or parts of the Chaka, that is an instrument from Ecuador that is with llama hooves or goat hooves or whatever. So pieces fall into the drum. So I'm very aware what's falling on top of the drum, because it can actually break it if
yeah,
I hit it on top and then it rips apart. And then suddenly I see this red dot, and first thing I thought it was my paint, and then I see it moving, and then I basically felt this deeper connection and representation of that. That's who we are. Again, we are nature. We are part of nature. The colonized mindset of the society that we live now has been ripping that part and the connection of who we actually are.
yeah,
And it just was beautiful that moment. My decision of not wanting to bang that drum because the insect was there, it completely twisted my way of playing that moment, because
yeah.
I usually use both drums. So it was a very personal, powerful thing. And then suddenly people start talking about it when I just share it. Such a small thing that for me was a big moment. So yeah, it's
It's those important moments that actually put meaning into life, I think. So, yeah,
yeah. It again, it puts a that hook to being in the present moment.
yeah,
In the world that we live now, or the concept of what purpose is again, I need,
mm,
I want, and it's always up there. Instead of seeing the moment where we are here now,
yeah,
and is the sharing with the people, not normalizing again that colonized mindset of being alone is okay, is normal. No, our ancestors in different communities where I come from, there's still people gathering every morning before starting a day. The whole
yeah,
community, not my. So I've been part of seeing that, and it's just fascinating. It's just beautiful to put that in the world that we are now.
mm,
That being in community is very important.
yeah. It certainly is, and I mean, being part of the Heilung community now as well. it would be interesting to know when you first joined, because I've watched the Castle Fest video many times. I'm
Mm.
not sure if you were in the Castle Fest
No.
lineup. So when did you join, and how did you join?
That's a fun story. That that's a yeah. You gotta eat the little thingy. Um, I'm gonna try to make it short. I was not part in Castlefest. I joined 2018, but I actually didn't join playing the drums.
Okay.
Um, Alex Opaso, a really good friend, he was drumming the from the beginning. Also, Jakob, and the first year that I arrived, 2017, to Denmark, and I heard a Latin band playing on the street, and I went to the project like, "Hey, I'm new here. How do I get into the music?" And there I met Alex. 1 year later, Alex sends me a message saying, "I'm with this project. Uh, they are looking for somebody to do a specific thing. It's not really related with music, but can you um, maybe you find or figure something out?" And I was like, "Okay." And then Martin called me at that moment, and now also he's the tour manager. He was also a warrior. He gives me a call. The whole idea was to drive the car with bloat and spears and shields. And for me, I was like, what the heck is this thing? Where I come from, you don't accept any car just like that
Yeah.
with things and drive.
Yeah. How do I explain this?
Yeah. So then the gig was to drive that van with all these things to England. I think it was London. I'm not sure. And then to Glasgow. And I was like, I don't know. But long story short, I took the gig. And then the first ritual, I started doing things that for me was very normal that I did back in Ecuador. Having cables all over the place, for me, I was turning crazy. I started ordering, talking with security, taking labels off the bottles, kind of taking care that everybody has all the stress out of their shoulders
Okay. Yeah.
to come and do what they have to do. And then Christopher called me. It was like, I want you to do the same in Glasgow. We need to talk. And that's how I kind of came in. And that's the beauty also from Heilung, that it is organically coming to the people that is on stage. Some of the singers were warriors. Some of them were making the makeup. It's not that Heilung makes a post, hey, we need a drummer. Who
Yeah.
is joining? So yeah, and then I jumped into the drums, and that's where we are now.
Yeah.
And
Perfect.
I'm also working, making the contact with the First Nations when we touch territories where the lands are also
Yes.
part of
Because I
First
was
Nations.
I was going to ask, with your connection to Highland and seeing so many different cultures and tribes across the world,
Mm.
like how has that sort of brought a lot of meaning to who you are and what you do?
Yeah, it's been. Um, I feel so important that we remember who we are and where we come from, and that First Nations has been always there.
Mm.
And until now, there's still the suppression of First Nations. And I'm very part of rising a voice with them, showing that they are still there. And making a ceremony, a ritual, calling different spirits and territory, that there's guardians of the lands. For me, that's being unrespectful.
Mm.
So that's why we call them in. So they make a welcome to territory, call their spirits, call their lineage, and also representation for people that know that they are still here.
I think that's the beautiful side of Highland, because it is animism in the basis of it, and that in every culture is the same thing: respect for nature, respect for one another,
Mm.
like just empathy, basically, which is nice to see.
Yeah.
And speaking of which, outside of Heilung, you are very active with your, is it the VIDAYA community?
Yeah.
So tell
Also,
us about that, what it involves, and how people could get involved with you.
yeah, I have two different projects. One is ARPI, that's I'm gonna talk about that later, and VIDAYA, I'm a co-founder of it, and that actually started with my partner. Started more as she went with me and joined a ceremony, and then she was like, "Wow, this is beautiful. How can I open this space for more people?" And then we started talking about it because for me it was it's very important, this thing of understanding of appreciation instead of appropriation. And
Yes.
there's a lot of places that just grabs maybe with a good intention behind, but there is much more behind. And Bidaya was born by willing to show and work together with them and give back to the space, to the lands, to the communities. We make it just once a year, and it's a bigger project that is a community willing to protect territories, um, much more in these moments, because it's just crazy how much it's just getting ripped apart, and honoring the ancestral traditions. You can find us in Instagram, Vidaya underscore community in Instagram, or in my social media also. You can find it there. It's gonna be in January. We're making two there. Um, yeah, Deep Jungle.
And your other projects involves like therapy drumming and sort of like
Yeah, in
groups of
ARPI.
healing.
Yeah, ARPI is more my own tools that I want to share. Then I created different practices. One of them is Suruna drum therapy that I'm actually sharing one space here tomorrow. We're making a few during next year. I'm opening more the RP processes and practices, but it's basically the understanding of a decolonized mindset and spiritual bypassing
Okay.
through four main pillars. There is awareness, rest, purpose, and interaction. That is basically the tools that has been supporting my path. And again, when I open space, is not me teaching something, because I don't teach, I share, because everybody is sharing. And I take tools from people that's been in one path that maybe I haven't, or I'm just starting, and vice versa.
Yeah, you can always learn something from everyone
Exactly.
you meet.
And and then I have also online spaces that I've been always a little bit skeptic about it, but then I realized that I can reach people that maybe could never come to the spaces that I'm doing live.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, it's a constant movement of things. I'm opening very soon a space that actually I haven't announced it, but now that we are
Oh,
here, that I want to open a space. I'm still trying to put the bricks together, but it's like every month, one time we meet for a couple of hours in an online space where everybody can just share whatever they want. And it's a donation based, because I'm not doing that because of the money. It's more to create the words and having the space that we can actually talk, that we can be actually still gathering now, trying to use the technology in our favor instead of putting it against us.
so that'll be something people would be able to sign up to soon.
I'm expecting the next month or something
Okay.
that I want to start rolling this.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. And as a clearly very spiritual person, I
Mm,
think just coming back to Heilung for just a second is people mistake Heilung as being a Viking band, but
yeah.
of course they're living history. There's many different songs. There's like Buslisban, Roman. There's Marduk, which is Mesopotamian, Babylonian. But it means that the members on the stage aren't necessarily all Norse pagans, of course. So you're not Norse pagan yourself. What spirituality would you consider yourself to be?
That's a great question. I consider myself part of nature.
Ah, yeah.
I'm consider myself part of being.
Mm.
Putting a label into something, I feel that if we dive way, way back with all the symbolisms that we see that is so much similar, I feel that there's a whole culture that is not being seen, that when you hear the tales, the legends, the symbolism, all of them have been sharing the same.
Hmm.
I don't believe in division. I believe in complement.
Yes.
So yeah, I'm just walking in this path,
I think
sharing with nature.
that's again the basis of animism. Nature is your church. Anything else is kind of whatever. So, yeah.
Yeah, the thing is putting already a name of a church or something that you are, I don't know. I think it could go quite deep, but the understanding that our ancestors had much more knowledge
Oh yeah.
than what we see now. A lot has been wiped aside. A lot has been hidden.
Yeah.
There's
Destroyed,
still a
burned.
lot destroyed. There's still a lot of information out there, but they were looking out there. Now we look like this.
Yeah. I
Too
know what you
much.
mean.
And are you using it on favor? I'm not saying it's bad. I'm saying, are you using it in favor or is it taking you?
Hmm.
People say, yeah, things are for free. No, no, no. When you feel it's for free, it's because you are paying the price. But we don't see those things.
It's very true. Yeah. I think the second mankind stops reaching for the stars and starts reaching for gold, that's where we all went wrong, isn't it? Yeah.
What is wrong? There again, we can dive again in. Is not pointing who is doing what is bad because it goes to generations of what has been happening.
Hmm.
We have First Nations cutting the trees, digging gold, making things because they are in need of something, and that's the first thing that they can see. But
Yeah.
when we share and reconnect and start opening their eyes that there is another reality that is not about this,
Yeah.
is about everything, and it's thinking in not the next generation, it's thinking in the next 7 generations.
Definitely. Yeah.
Things can twist,
They can indeed.
and everything starts from within.
Thank you for that chat then. So obviously you have a lot going on, as you say, you've got stuff people can sign up to soon. So all of your social media, tell us a little bit about this and how people can follow along.
Yeah, so for me, it's a big support. That's the main space that I'm sharing is Instagram. It's me behind it. Sometimes I try to figure out some bots that answer faster for people. But it's funny if you receive something weird. Yeah, I don't know how really to control that. Um, Subscribe in my ARPI website. I'm sharing there not to bomb you in your inbox, but it's more for if something comes out, you receive it directly because with all these stupid algorithms and stuff that sometimes people don't see it,
Yeah.
there you receive the information. I'm also sharing. I started also a new thing that every Monday, every second or third Monday, but a Monday a month, I'm sharing something personal that I learned. That maybe somebody finds it useful. Yeah, so subscribe there, follow Vidaya, follow ARPI. There is still spots available for Vidaya, and there's a lot of things moving that I cannot say right now, but just stay tuned, subscribe to my newsletter, and thank you so much for your time and for
Thank you.
reaching out, for opening spaces where we can talk a little bit more and not just about one thing.
Yeah. Okay, well thank you ever so much, Chaka. It's been an absolute honor. And
Appreciate it, brother.
thank you. And thank you for watching.
Appreciate it.